This is a story of the brutal assassination of Burkina Faso's leader Thomas Sankara on October 15, 1987. Thomas Isidore Noel Sankara, born in December 1949, had by 1983 become captain in the army of Upper Volta, now Burkina Faso. With a bold vision of transforming society, breaking free from neo-colonial influence, championing women's rights, uprooting corruption, and pushing for self-reliance, Sankara won the hearts of many. Under his leadership, he renamed the country Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, and enacted sweeping social, economic, and political reforms. He was not without critics, both inside and beyond the borders. His anti-imperialist stance, his criticism of foreign debts, his nationalization policies, and his refusal to bow to former colonial powers or neighboring regimes created unease amongst certain elites, political circles, and foreign observers. Tensions simmered, loyalties shifted. Even among his inner cycle there were those uncomfortable with the pace of change, or who felt sidelined. One of the most pivotal relationships in Sankara's story was with Blaise Compaoré, his comrade in arms. Compaoré had helped bring Sankara to power in the 1983 coup that overthrew the previous regime. Initially, they shared goals: reform, integrity, and independency. But over the years, cracks appeared. Some say Compaoré grew concerned about Sankara's direction, moving too far, too fast, antagonizing foreign powers, risking diplomatic and economic isolation. Others say Compaoré felt threatened, that Sankara's popularity, his conviction, made him the de facto leader, and there was little room for competing influence. Meanwhile, Sankara himself recognized that there were critics, not just outside the government but inside. Among military officers, some senior figures who may have felt overlooked, or disagreed with certain policies. In speeches, Sankara sometimes acknowledged mistakes or excesses by the revolutionary committees, CDRs, and hinted at a need for rectification. It is the morning, or afternoon, depending on accounts, of the 15th of October 1987. The place, a meeting of the National Revolutionary Council, NRC, held at the Conseil de l'Entente building in Ouagadougou. Sankara, at about 37 years old, still full of energy, surrounded by close collaborators. Among them are some who will very soon be his executioners. What is supposed to be a regular council meeting turns into a trap. A commando force, hit squad, loyal to Compaoré, or convinced by those plotting with him, storms the meeting. Bullets fly. Sankara is singled out. Some bullet wounds are fired from the front, at least one shot from behind. Experts later in the trial will speak of at least 7 bullets striking him in the chest, some tracer rounds leaving marks, burns on clothing, multiple calibers identified, 7.62mm, 9mm among them. Along with Sankara, 12 of his colleagues, ministers, guards, collaborators, are killed in the onslaught. Chaos, betrayal, violence. Stories emerge of the sole survivor among those present. There are slight differences in accounts about exactly who survived and how, witnessing the attack, hearing the shots, seeing those he trusted fall. By the time the smoke cleared, Blaise Compaoré is in power. The coup has succeeded, but the new regime is quick to cloak the truth in silence. Sankara's body is buried hastily. Reports say he was laid to rest in an unmarked grave in Dagnon, on the outskirts of Ouagadougou. The burial site was kept secret. The world is told little, the domestic narrative suppressed. For many years under Compaoré's rule, which lasted until 2014, Sankara's assassination is largely taboo, discussing it openly, calling for accountability, naming the perpetrators dangerous. Meanwhile, Sankara's vision and legacy live on in the minds of many. His wife, Mariam Sankara, and family begin the painful, long journey toward truth and justice. Allegations swell. Who planned it? Who gave the orders? Were foreign powers involved? Did Compaoré act alone or with outside support? Trials and investigations are delayed, obstructed, avoided. Years pass. Only after Compaoré's own regime falls in 2014, following mass protests and popular anger, do the doors begin to open for investigation. In 2015, Sankara's remains and those of the others killed with him are exhumed from the secret grave. Autopsies are performed. One reveals the body was riddled with more than a dozen bullets, confirming earlier suspicions. Many shots, some from behind, bullets of multiple calibers, use of tracer rounds. A military tribunal opens the case. Blaise Compaoré, though in exile in Ivory Coast, is formally indicted for complicity in Sankara's assassination, along with several others. Gilbert Diendere, his close ally Hyacinthe Kafando, security chief, among others. They are charged with murder, concealment of corpses, attack on state security. In April 2022, after months of trial and testimony, Compaoré and some of his co-accused are convicted in absentia and sentenced to life in prison. Many in Burkina Faso and across Africa see this as a landmark moment of justice, even if long delayed. Thomas Sankara's death was not just the killing of a man, it was an attempt to erase a dream. For decades, his policies, speeches, and charismatic leadership continued to inspire people across Burkina Faso and beyond: youth, revolutionaries, social justice activists. His commitment to principled leadership left scars, but also left seeds. In February 2023, his body, and those of his companions, were finally reburied at the site of his assassination, a ritual of memory, recognition, and collective mourning. The site, now a memorial, stands as both a symbol of the violence inflicted and a tribute to resistance. Even today, many questions remain, and have perhaps always been asked: who else was involved? What outside forces had an interest in his removal? Could history have turned differently? But the facts that have come to light about how he was ambushed, shot multiple times, and buried in secrecy already tell us something profound about power, betrayal, and the cost of daring to change. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe to this channel.